Welcome back. Before the break, we were talking to M.A. Muid Khan, barrister at law at large, about the international problem of refugees.
Yes.
And what are the responsibilities of
British.
different governments?
Yes. Should I start from the European governments or from the British government? How would you like me to answer?
Well, because the British government is not alone in this, you see, because
Yes.
there's a camp of refugees in Calais.
I understand your question. As I told you at the very beginning in the last episode, my heart bleeds when I see this innocent refugees are coming. And already the record shows last year for more than 1 million migrants came through that Mediterranean Sea. And only last year, this year, for more than 1.2 million migrants sought asylum within the European countries. In terms of the European countries, under the international law, they have got an international obligation if there is any person who comes from those war-torn countries and whoever will seek asylum, if the main basic principle is whether their life will be at risk if they're forced back to their country.
Right.
If they find that their life will be at risk if they're forced back to that country, they are under an international obligation not to send them back to those countries.
Right.
So, and as you asked me about the European government, they've got two types of responsibilities under the international law. They signed one European Union treaty in Refugee Convention in 1951. They also signed another protocol in 1967. So as a result, because they're the signatory of that international treaty, it is their international obligation to ensure the rights of those refugees are protected. Now, in terms of the British government, as we have come out from European, we were about to exit to Brexit. What will be the, under these changed circumstances, what will be the responsibility?
What will be our responsibility?
Of the British government? There will be a strange question. Certainly, even though it will be strange, but UK, even though we are coming out from the European Union, but we are a part of European Union, and we have signed that treaty.
It will take 2 years to complete the exit.
That is to exit from the European Union. But even if we, through the exit door, come out from the European Union, but we cannot come out from this international obligation.
True.
It's a moral responsibility, joint moral responsibility towards those refugees to give them protection. Because if we send them back to their country, their life will be at risk.
We always talk about the end product, the refugees,
Yes.
see, but we don't talk about the causes. What is?
That's correct. And as at the beginning I said, this scourge of war, that is creating, that is the root cause of all problems.
Yes.
If you look at it very carefully, before this war type situations created in Syria, in Libya, in Afghanistan, even in Iraq, have we ever had any problems from those countries? Have we ever had any refugees seeking asylum in this country? We didn't.
No.
This is the scourge of the world. And we have got the evidence after the Second World War. The nations of the world, they got together. They framed United Nations. They framed Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Put all the human rights there, and now we are violating those rights. That is the main cause, root cause.
You see, because we don't have world war, probably the world will not experience the Third World
Exactly,
War.
exactly.
But we have flashpoints
Exactly.
here, there, and everywhere.
Exactly.
There are small wars going on everywhere. So see.
Yeah, exactly.
Skirmishes across the borders.
Exactly.
People are being moved. So I mean, think of Rohingyas from
Yes.
Myanmar into Bangladesh. You see.
Yes. If I could tell something else, just to add over there, we are living in a global village. Whatever happens in one part of the world, you will definitely feel consequences in the other part of the world. Imagine before the invasion took place in Iraq, how much we used to pay for petrol?
True.
Only 57 pence, maybe 60 pence. And after we have invaded Iraq, it jumped up to £1. It should have gone down. And then if you look at Libya, we have invaded that country because the price of oil, petrol was going up. But that price should have gone down. It has gone to £1.20. So who are making the money?
Somebody, somewhere.
Exactly. And there is the root cause. We have to hit in that root cause. Help the common people, the people they're suffering. Imagine at the beginning I said, food, shelter, medicine, accommodation. If you don't have those basic fundamental, necessities of life, what would you do? This is what is happening, unfortunately.
Well, these are very serious.
And as I can see, you had a very heavy breathing because it touched your heart and it just stopped. And this is what happens in my heart as well. Every time I see the television, the news,
true.
unfortunately. We know the reasons why it's happening.
We have to live in this world, suffer this world, the problems.
But as I said, we have to suffer with this. No, we shouldn't have to suffer. We have rights to wake up. And
okay, from this very serious issue, see, I always bring
I'm so sorry, you know, you have seen
I will always introduce my guests, and I try to get behind the name of the man,
yes,
behind the person, of the professional persons.
Okay.
And tell us something about your background. I didn't, because we had a very different beginning today.
Thank you.
About your background. You see, I know that your father was an academic. He was a professor of Dhaka University.
Yes.
And what made you come into law rather than become an academic or something else?
Okay, you have already said about the background. My late father, Professor A.N.M. Abdul Mannan Khan, he was the ex-chairman and senior most professor of Department of Arabic, University of Dhaka. And he is the basis of my success. Whatever I achieve, I feel my father is the backbone of all those success. And also my older brother, he's also first class first. And my father was also a first class first. And my father always encouraged me to be the high achiever. Even whenever I research, in the night time, say 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I don't stop because I've seen my father, how he used to research honesty, integrity, you know, and to try your level best to achieve the best possible, to provide the best possible service, especially in my profession, to my clients. I have seen how my dad used to provide best possible academic service to his students. So those are the backbone, I should say, background.
You didn't feel that you should become a cricketer?
In fact, unfortunately, I was not a very good player. I must admit. And I can share with you one of the incidents. In first year when I was in Dhaka University, as I grew up in Dhaka University campus, they felt maybe I'm a very good player. So they selected me. And there was a bowler who started bowling and as batting. And it was with those hard ball.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, trust me, and somehow it escaped and touched on my top of my lip. And I felt so painful in my teeth. And then and there, my dream nipped in the bud. So I felt, no, that is not, yes.
Cricket is not my field.
No, law is my field. Over there, I'll shine.
Yes. But whether it was cricket or law, you had to use your lips.
That's correct. That's correct. Thank you. And maybe as a chosen law, I was able to safeguard.
Right. I know that we come back to a different topic.
Yes.
I know that not very many months ago you were awarded by our own NTV, and let me read it out from here. Barrister Muid Khan, Legal Advisor of NTV Europe Limited, for his excellent skills and professionalism in legal advice services to the community. Can we focus this on our award, NTV award? We have so many, and some of these we did not put on the show because my guest was embarrassed.
Okay, the award you indicated was, this is the award from NTV.
Okay.
I'm just showing. You asked me about the background, why this award is given. First of all, I must express my heartfelt thanks to my dearest, loveliest sister, Sabrina Apu, and also Sabrina Hussain, CEO of NTV, and also my brother-in-law, Babu Bhai. They have decided to give me a surprise. As you know, recently on 2nd of October, not many months before, just last month, NTV, friends of NTV, as you can see, they gathered together over there. And I also attended there with Apu. Apu didn't say that there will be a surprise for me. And the amount of respect and honor this lovely, beautiful Apu has showed me, she just scratched my heart. And also the member of NTV. This award which was presented to me because of that presidential award that was given to me by the SADC president. with this program, I'm giving my heartfelt thanks to Apu, Sabin Apu, accept my thanks, Babu Bhai, accept my thanks, and also my lovely family members of NTV. I'm very grateful to you for giving me this honor. Thank you. And also, that includes you as well. You can touch, yes.
Yes, I can touch it. Yes.
Yeah, of course you can. You're part of this.
Can you also show that?
Okay.
Yes, you see.
This is
that's a beautiful award.
This is the presidential award that you were referring earlier.
Can you focus on it, please?
Yes, I'm holding, and maybe our family members are trying to focus.
Yes.
And this was the award given by SILEX president.
Right. See.
And
SILEX is chartered
legal executive lawyers. And you know, in the UK, there are 3 bodies, regulatory bodies. Bar Council, they regulate barristers,
Law Society,
law society solicitors, and SILEX, chartered legal executive lawyers. These are the qualified, providers. Thank you.
This is a professional body.
A professional body, that's correct, yes.
And you were also awarded for your pro bono services in 2011 by SILEX, isn't it?
That's correct. This is that award. In 2011, they also selected me from entire England and Wales.
Yes.
Because I provided a good number of legal services on a pro bono basis.
Right.
And SILEX president, somehow he and his entire judges researched about me. And
pro bono, for those who don't understand, it is free.
Underprivileged section of the community. Yes, you're right. Yes, you're right. So,
okay.
Thank you.
Now we move to something more serious.
Yes.
We were talking about the topics of interest that you have, and that include
Human rights.
Human rights, racism, and hate, and all that. See, there's kind of, after Brexit particularly, I do not know why, we didn't vote for such things, but there is a kind of a climate of hostility now, particularly after the, I said, to be or not to be, the Brexit, whether to be with Europe. See, 6,000 alleged hate crimes. I'm quoting it from your article in Moroccan Times. See, an imam in New York,
Yes.
on 13th of August,
Yes.
was killed, kicking off a Muslim woman wearing hijab
Yes.
from a London bus. See,
Yes.
how do you see this?
Well, as I told you earlier, as a defender of human rights and fundamental freedom, it bleeds, my heart bleeds. And recently, most recently, last week, a woman's sister, she was wearing hijab and she was walking on the Oxford Street. Someone came and attacked her simply because she was wearing hijab. A person shouldn't be treated, a person shouldn't be shown hatred because of her identity, whether he or she is Muslim, Christian, or Hindu. And if any person is identified, and if that discrimination is being displayed in the society.
Why has this Brexit triggered such attacks?
Well, I cannot make any opinion why, but the fundamental reasons here is, I think Brexit campaigners, they always, their main campaign was for migration, immigration was the main issue. And in fact, that issue didn't connect the Muslims. That issue was connected with the European migrants. As you know, prior to the Brexit, we had for more than 3.5 million European migrants who entered already in the UK. And that was creating massive impact within the
on everything, on all the services.
Public services. That was the main reason. But unfortunately, now it is triggering towards the other areas, like Muslims who came to this country.
People exploit that.
Exactly. It could be Hindus, it could be Jewish. Very recently, I don't know whether you have heard the other story, another Polish guy was attacked.
Okay, Muid Khan, we have to take another commercial break, and then when we come back, definitely we'll again dive into the serious topic.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being with us. We'll be back soon after this break.